Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Wednesday, the 20th of January 2021. Thank you for joining me. I want to use the Mystical Manga Tarot for today's reading. Let's see what these cards have to say about Wednesday and what energy you'll be working with. So let's have a look. I'm going to choose my 3 cards here. First card we have got the Hierophant, Death, and the Emperor. Wow, 3 major arcana cards, so big themes. The Hierophant is a representative of religion and some sort of social construct, an institution, a church, a system of belief. And they've got this one figurehead, and he represents everything that this organization stands for. And these 2 young men are coming in and they're clasping their hands together and kind of showing deference to this person in charge because they want to be part of the club. The Hierophant is part of the Fool's Journey. All the major arcana cards are part of the Fool's Journey. So you start at 0 with the Fool, the conception of an idea. Then the Magician, actually realizing that idea in some sort of tangible way or thinking about how you're going to do it. Then we've got the High Priestess, listening to your higher self and how that kind of informs the situation. Then we've got the Empress, the mother, usually the first person you meet on planet Earth. Then we've got the Emperor, usually the second. And each figure really opens your eyes to something new in life. So the Empress opens you up to love and being nurtured and that someone cares. Wow. The Emperor, that someone is looking out for you and someone else loves you, but in a different way, and that you can feel safe and secure. Then you get to the Hierophant. That can be school. You get sent to an institution and suddenly you realize that this is the way society thinks, this is what's good, this is what's bad, and I have to kind of slot into that and conform. Then we've got the Lovers after the Hierophant, and you meet someone in that institution and you find your own things that really work for you, and off you go. So the Hierophant has several meanings. First of all, it's an organization. It means that you can be part of something if you want. You have the ability to fit in, to communicate. We also have these 2 pillars in the background. So we have this system of belief that promises a lot and that supposedly leads to something, but you've got this obstacle. You've got either the rules that you need to follow. So let's say, the parents send you to Catholic school. Then you have to start believing in the Virgin Mary and in Jesus and do everything they want. If they send you to a Scientology school, then you have to do it their way. So the principle of the Hierophant is that you can be a part of something, that there are other people who share your beliefs, that you don't have to feel isolated. You can really connect with other people and ask them for help. But a big part of the Hierophant as well is that this system of belief, this opportunity that they kind of promise you is... It doesn't come free of charge. It has an admission fee. So you've got to get past this person in power and follow all of his rules if you want to go to this thing in the background. So yes, I will go to Mass every Sunday. I will take communion. I will, study my workbook, whatever it may be. Not because I believe it, but because I want what you've got. And I want to get some of these promises that have been made to me, that the universe loves me, or let's say it's Judaism. I'm going to study the Torah because I want to find out that God loves me, and I'm listening to what you're saying and I'm taking your instructions and I'm doing that. But the thing about that is that the Hierophant often creates more blockages than it does actually to open the path. Because if you have a spiritual awakening on your own, and you say, universe, I feel that there's something bigger out there, because we all have that spiritual quality in us. We all have this sense that we can kind of spiritually reach out to something and find some sort of a connection. So if you do it by yourself, then you're skipping the whole thing. Then you realize that there is something bigger. There's no person with the keys to the kingdom that you have to please or follow the rules. And you can have that spiritual experience yourself, and off you go, and everything's fabulous. But with the Hierophant, it means that, yes, you can be part of a group and that you can share a system of belief, but it also shows that that comes with a price tag, and you often have to follow the rules, or you have to believe certain things that don't feel right to you, and you have to conform. And in that situation, that is the only way to get to where you want to go. So the Hierophant today means that you're not alone. You can share your beliefs with other people. But on the other hand, you are aware that a lot of the relationships in your life are transactional. And if you want something, you've got to do something. And it's reliant on kind of social norms and structures. And today, I really don't think that you have a lot of patience with that. If anything, I think you see yourself as this person, the not exactly the figurehead to a whole religion. So you don't wake up and say, oh, I am the Pope. It's not like you lose your mind completely, but you certainly don't feel like you don't need permission, or you don't feel like you need permission from someone to say, okay, I've been a good boy, a good girl. Do I get to be happy today? It's really much more about, do you know what? I'm living my life. I have dealt with certain things. I'm the authority figure here. I'm not interested in preaching to other people or being some sort of a figurehead. All I really want is to experience that connection. So I don't think you have a lot of tolerance for, who are the people who stop you on the street? I remember I was in Leeds, and I think it was Mormons, and they came up to me and they said, do you want to know the truth? And I said, no, I really don't. So you don't have to buy into that. You feel secure in your own belief system, in your experience. You don't need to ask for permission. You're not a spiritual leader, but you certainly are the authority figure in your life. And you don't need to be a spiritual leader. You could be if you wanted to, I suppose. You feel that secure and certain of what you're doing and where you're coming from and where you're trying to go. It's really important not to let yourself be derailed by other people's teachings or regulations or rules. I don't think you have a lot of patience and tolerance for that. So don't put yourself in a situation where you're rolling your eyes and it's just torture, Next, we got death. Death is the 13th card of the major arcana, and it represents an ending. So this, if you've had this ongoing need to belong or to feel approval from other people, then you can really put an end to that. If you felt that if you're sticking with some sort of belief system or you're following the rules in an attempt to get somewhere and to be promoted in a job or to be told the spiritual secret so that you can become enlightened, you really don't buy into that anymore, and you start to think, hey, I can actually figure this out by myself. I don't need to give all my money away and make endless donations to some sort of a religion because they promise to love me or tell me what life is about. I can actually figure that out for myself. So you suffer no illusions, basically. You see things clearly. The veil is lifted off your eyes, and you're not buying into faulty belief systems. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with organized religion. For a lot of people it works, but if you're going into it with the things that I mentioned to get something out of it for yourself, and you don't believe and you're just kind of faking it, then you're really not going to play that game anymore. Something comes to a head and you're like, I don't need this. I don't need to delude myself to get some sort of sense of love or connection to the universe. It already resides within me. Finally, the Emperor is the authority figure in your life. And today you cut off a lot of the stuff that has kept you trapped and controlled and under someone else's thumb for a long time. So if you were brought up with the belief that if you have nothing nice to say, then don't say anything at all, and that's left you in a position where you can never express your opinion, you just take everything that other people say on board, and they take your silence as agreement or compliance, and you find yourself in difficult situations. You start to see that for what it is, and you don't flip it 180 and say, okay, today I'm going to be really rude, but you may just say, do you know what, I have a right to my opinion, and I don't need to listen to 5 hours of these theories. I just don't believe them. So I'm going to put an end to this. I'm going to speak my truth because I feel secure and safe enough within myself to have an opinion and to feel like there's nothing lacking in me. I don't need to acquire. I don't need to join some sort of a club to get myself, because that's what spirituality is. It's a version of yourself that resides within you in the universe, and you really suffer no illusion that you have to go on this path which has been laid out for you, because you have now had experience on that path, and you realize that not everything you've been told is accurate. You start to think for yourself and you follow your own rules. And that doesn't mean you have to isolate yourself from a group you belong to. You still have access to it, but you don't need to be submissive, and you don't need to feel oppressed in some sort of system of belief that really keeps you from yourself and creates distance in your life between you and the spiritual, you and other people, you and nature, whatever it may be. So the Death card really puts an end to faulty beliefs, and those fall away from you today. And what's left, what's revealed, is your own authority. And you as a spiritual being with your own desires, with your own purpose, with your own experience of the world that no one really understands except you, because no one is in your own skin. And other people, in my experience, the people who talk the loudest about their beliefs and what ought to be are usually the ones with the least ideas and the ones who have done the least seeking. So that's not always true. I mean, there are wise spiritual leaders and teachers out there, but I really feel the ones that say, my way is the only way, those are the ones who don't really know what they're talking about, because there are billions of ways to find some sort of connection to source. There's many ways of doing it as there are people on the planet, and no one knows exactly what it has gone into making you the person you are, okay? And if you have certain hang-ups which prevent you from believing certain things, and other things which really open you up to other ways of believing, then that's right for you. And only you can put your head on the pillow at night and say, do you know what, that was a great day. I feel connected. I feel like I loved other people, myself, my life, and I did something. No one else can give you that. So the faulty belief that can be provided to you by being a good boy, that falls away, and you really start to see yourself as you really are, the authority figure in your life, and you can trust yourself. You can believe your own needs, desires, and you can go on your own journey. It's right for you, and it doesn't need validating. It doesn't need anyone else's approval, and you don't need anyone's permission. So you do you. Number-wise, we've got 4 and 13 is 17, and 5 is 22. 5 and 13 is 18, and 4 is 22. Yeah, 22 is the master number of the builder. So it's only by listening to your own rules and regulations, you are the king, the emperor, the person in charge. By doing as you see fit, that's how you can really build something in your life that is as supportive as a system of belief. You can build your own institution, your own empire. And it's something that is going to serve you in future. And you can't build that if you're on some sort of spell or illusion that you have to do things differently than what your nature dictates. Be true to your own nature and build something really positive for you and for other people who will then benefit from it. Wow. Have an amazing day. This is really a day where you can come into your own. It's really a day where you can grow up. And whether you do that at 15 or at 55, some of us do it at different periods in our lives. And this is a day where you can really discover your own truth and your own strength, and that you're enough. You're good enough, and your beliefs and your way of doing things is perfect. It doesn't need to be changed at all. Wow. So have an amazing day. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to order your reading with me. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and share the video online. Have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.